Welcome to Prophetic Lifestyles with Bernard Bolton, where we are making the prophetic practical, bringing the prophetic into everyday life, and where we are seeing the future now. So this is our second video for today, and we're doing our ministry and marketplace videos on Sunday when we normally do them on Friday. But unfortunately, we just did not have time to do it on Saturday. We could have done it yesterday, but we keep Shabbat. Shabbat is a day of rest, a day of ending. And so we rest. And I mean, I was resting. I was really resting yesterday. And so with today being the first day of the week, it's a work day. And I'm looking forward to this week. And we are coming to the end of the month Shavan, and we're moving into the Hebrew month Tammuz, and the month Shavan is linked to the tribe Zebulun. So I want to encourage you to go back and listen to the video on the tribe of Zebulun, where because Zebulun was the business person's tribe. They were the tribe of business. They were given gifts to do business, and they brought prosperity to the nation of Israel because of that business acumen that they operated in, and the principles of business that they brought. So we're talking today about knowing your market. Okay, we just did a video on knowing your ministry, and so now we're doing a video on knowing your market. And one of the things that we do on this channel is we want to help ministers to develop marketplace. So that's one of our coaching programs. If you're interested in learning how to navigate between your ministry and the marketplace, or how to move from ministry to the marketplace, and how to navigate between both, how to keep them separated. Because unfortunately, what many ministers are doing is they're bringing the marketplace into their ministry, and that actually is causing confusion. And for a lot of ministers, it causes corruption. Okay, and so one of the revelations that the Lord brought us to in the 90s is that He was raising up a new kind of minister who would serve faithfully in ministry, but who would also find wealth in the marketplace. And there has been several examples of that. Bishop T.D. Jakes, great minister of God, great, apostle, bishop, pastor, but also Bishop T.D. Jakes is doing phenomenal things in the marketplace. And there are many other ministers who are navigating between ministry and the marketplace. And so I got that revelation 30 years ago, really didn't start walking in it myself until about 12 years ago myself. And now the Lord is saying, this is the decade, this pay decade. One of the purposes of the pay decade is to help ministers find their place in the marketplace, because in the marketplace, there's a freedom to create wealth. Okay, you can't always create wealth in the ministry. And there are many persons who are getting wealthy through ministry, but that's very rare. But most of the time, those who are wealthy, they are wealthy because they have found wealth. They have developed their wealth in the marketplace. Okay, and so this is part of what we do. So I am a ministry marketplace coach, and I've had years of experience in the marketplace. And of course, I've got 38 years in ministry, but I've had about 12 years. 12 years ago, I published my first book, and the Lord actually, and I didn't understand it at the beginning, and so I looked at publishing as my ministry, as an extension of my ministry. And it was years before the Lord began to show me, this is your marketplace. I'm going to teach you. And one of the things the Lord told me is, and this is why He wanted me to publish my own books, which is what's called self-publish. I don't call it self-publishing. I call it God publishing, because God told me to publish my own books. But God says, I want to give you dominion, and I'm going to teach you how to prosper. All right. And so the Lord has done that. And I've prospered. I've prospered financially. I've prospered spiritually. I've prospered in knowledge. And now, not only am I publishing my own books, but now I'm publishing others' books. Okay. I'm a publisher to the apostolic and prophetic people. And I've seen prosperity come as a result of that. And so there is a place for us in the marketplace, and we have to know the difference. And the marketplace is not a place for ministry. Okay. Now I have a place where I minister, and sometimes I minister because I was talking with a brother the other day at work, and I don't do this. I don't minister at work, but when the Lord is giving an opportunity, I will take it. So me and a fellow brother who also has a call on his life, we connected and we began to share. And he asked me a question, and it was a very prophetic question. It was a question from the Lord, and the question revealed to me that he was a believer, which I believed he was. And he has the voice. He has a voice of authority. The authority of God just comes out of his mouth every time he speaks. And he has a different kind of spirit on him. But I just didn't want to assume that he was a believer or follower of Jesus Christ. But then when he asked me the question, I knew that here's a man who has knowledge of God. So we began to talk. And we was talking both about ministry and the marketplace, because he was asking me questions about coaching, which is also one of my businesses and something I just love doing. And so we made a connection. All right. So today I want to share with you about knowing your market. Okay. And here are there's three things I want to tell you. Okay. Number one, in order to know your market, you have to know where your customers and clients are. I just did a marketing session with the latest author whose book I published, and I'm going to be interviewing her in a couple of weeks, and you will have an opportunity to buy her book, Prophetic book on dreams and visions. And so one of the things I offer to the authors in my house is I actually walk them through a marketing session. And again, years ago, even though marketing is marketplace, the Lord told me that I would help. He was going to teach me how to market in the spirit, because a lot of marketing is Babylonian, right? And Babylon means of the world. Babylon means confusion. Babylon is a false kind of apostolic because it's building man's desire instead of building God's desire. All right. And so, but Babylon is the world. And when I became a first-time author, unfortunately, most of the Christians that I was dealing with, they were operating from a Babylonian mindset. And they wasn't glorifying God. And they didn't have a spirit. And I'm not condemning, because, we have to do what we know. And so most of the writers, fortunately for me, because I was mature, I was a pastor and I was mature in faith, I knew that this wasn't the place God wanted me. I didn't have an alternative, but I knew that this wasn't the place. So a lot of the practices and principles that I saw being carried out among published authors and writers, I refused to cooperate with or to copy. And then eventually, after 2 years, and the Lord told me that he was giving me an education because I needed to know how Babylon operates. And then after 2 years, the Lord called me out, and then let's see, a year later, I met Apostle Teresa Harvard Johnson, and I began to learn about prophetic writing and how the prophetic operated among prophetic scribes and writing. And it was actually under her mentorship and through her school where I started clearly hearing the Lord speak about a different kind of marketing. And so the Lord says, I'm going to teach you spirit-led marketing. And so when I teach marketing, I teach it not from the standpoint of Babylon, but I teach it from the standpoint of the spirit, because the spirit does have a way of marketing. Okay. And and so that's a principle that maybe I will share one day in an online course. But the essential thing about your market is you have to know where your customers and clients are, and that's where you have to go. And so you can't wait for them to come to you. You have to go where they are. Okay, I'm on YouTube because my customer and clients are on YouTube. I left Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram because those were no longer the places where my customer and clients were. And when I devoted my time to YouTube, my channel started growing and my leads started growing. Now, right now, I'm not doing a lot of business, but I'm still doing business. I just did a coaching session maybe 2 weeks ago, phenomenal coaching session. I'm still publishing books. I'm planning on rewriting some of my books this summer and releasing them. And so you have to know where your customers and clients are. Okay. Number two, you're in the marketplace because you are fulfilling a need or a demand. Okay. Now, here is sometimes where ministry and marketplace looks the same, because in ministry, we fulfill a need. But usually the need that we fulfill in ministry is spiritual. And it is limited to the community of God's people. Okay. And I use that word limited, but maybe narrow is a better word, because ministry really functions among God's people. Okay. And that's why we have to keep ministry separated from the marketplace, because in the marketplace, we're fulfilling a need, but we fulfill a need by bringing a product or bringing a program, bringing an online course, bringing content. Okay. We are fulfilling a need in that way. But also in the marketplace, we're fulfilling a demand. Sometimes what you have to offer to people is meeting a demand. People want it now. And that's why you see a lot of people, when people prosper in the marketplace, it is because they have tapped into a demand. There's a demand for what they're offering, and people are willing to pay for it. Okay. All right. Number three, all right, you're in the marketplace to make an exchange. You're giving something to receive something. Now, this is very important, because in the marketplace, it's not a marketplace if you're giving away your offer for free all the time. And a lot of people in the marketplace, they confuse marketplace with ministry. And I've had this happen with people where they think what I'm offering, it should be for free, that they should get it without paying for it. But in the marketplace, you are making an exchange. So you're offering something to receive something. And what you're giving is a product or a program, and what you're receiving is payment. All right. And so that's the freedom of the marketplace. Okay. Expect to make money in the marketplace. Expect to create wealth in the marketplace. Expect to be profitable in the marketplace. Those words don't fit into ministry, but they fit in the marketplace. All right. And so know your market, know where your people are, know where your customers and clients are. Okay. Know what is the need that you fulfill or the demand that you fulfill. And then know the exchange that you're making. So when you're making an exchange, think about the price. think about the value that you're bringing, and think about the price, and learn how to price your products from others. Okay, uh, learn how to offer your products. I do group coaching sessions, and going to be doing one this Saturday at 12 o'clock. And I for years I had a set price, but I really adapted that price because I learned it from another business person who is also a prophet. But I learned that price, and I set my price based upon their price. And so I raised the price this year, but I learned how to structure my offer and what should I expect in the exchange. Okay, so know your market, and if you need our help for coaching, for consultation, then you can reach out to us. Okay, God bless. Shalom. We'll see you next time.